Picture this for a moment. It's a peaceful Tuesday morning. You fix yourself a cup of coffee, you head out to the mailbox just like you have countless times before, and there it sits. A letter from the Social Security Administration. You tear it open, and your heart sinks. It tells you that you were paid too much. It tells you that you owe them money, and it warns you that they intend to begin holding back half of your monthly payment until that debt is settled. Half of the very payment you rely on to cover your housing, your food, your prescriptions. You never did anything improper. You can't even make sense of what occurred, and right now you feel afraid. Should that letter ever show up in your mailbox, I'm asking you to keep your composure, because the choices you make over the following 30 days could rescue thousands of dollars. My name is Edward. I'm a senior policy analyst, and I devote my time to helping retirees decode rules that seem built to bewilder, not to assist. And today, I'm going to guide you through one of the most alarming letters any retiree might ever get: the Social Security Overpayment Notice. I'll explain to you precisely what this rule means. I'll point you to the official forms that safeguard you, and I'll hand you 3 simple steps to follow should this ever land on you. But I'm asking you, stick with me right to the finish, because there's one tiny, quiet error that countless seniors make with this letter. It seems perfectly harmless, yet it's the exact thing that allows Social Security to begin draining half your payment. I'll reveal precisely what it is and how you can dodge it. Breathe deeply. You're not in any trouble. You simply need the truth. Let's begin. Allow me to share Robert's story. Robert is 67 years old. He labored his entire life. A decent, sincere man, he began collecting his Social Security a bit ahead of schedule at 64 because the money was necessary. But Robert grew restless staying around the house, so he picked up a part-time position at the neighborhood hardware store simply to keep occupied, simply to bring in a little more. Now, Robert had caught wind of something called an earnings limit. He understood there was a ceiling on what you could make before it touched your benefits. So he was cautious, or at least he believed he was. Here's the spot where Robert committed his single tiny error. The holiday season arrived, the store grew hectic, Robert took on additional shifts, overtime, weekends. He thought, it's only a handful of busy months, where's the harm? He crossed the earnings limit and he never informed Social Security. He didn't deceive anyone. He didn't attempt to swindle a soul. He simply failed to report the change. He presumed they were already aware. 14 months down the road, the letter showed up. Social Security claimed Robert had been overpaid by more than $9,000. And because Robert failed to act in time, they began holding back half of each and every payment. Robert went from receiving his complete benefit to receiving half of it overnight. On a fixed income, that isn't a mere bother, that's an emergency. Now here's the piece I truly need you to absorb. Robert's predicament could have been solved. The rules offered him an escape. He simply didn't realize it was there, and his time ran out. So let me make certain that never befalls you. Let's begin with the fundamentals. What exactly is an overpayment? According to Social Security's very own website, an overpayment is simply when they pay you beyond what you were entitled to receive. And here's the crucial part. It normally arises from missing or incorrect information, a shift in your employment, your earnings, your living arrangements, your marital status. Sometimes it's the senior who neglected to report a change like Robert. But here's something Social Security doesn't state loudly enough. Quite often, the blunder belongs to them, not you, their own slip-up, and they will still come around to collect. Under the law, Social Security is obligated to attempt to reclaim that money. They can't simply pardon it on their own. So this isn't a warning you can brush aside while hoping it vanishes. It won't. Now, here is the figure that carries the most weight. The present default withholding rate is 50%. Their website spells it out clearly. If you don't repay them within 30 days of the date printed on your notice, they will automatically hold back 50% of your monthly benefit until the debt is cleared. Half your payment, month upon month, until it's settled. That might stretch on for months. It might stretch on for years. Now, you might have caught some frightening news some time ago about Social Security seizing 100% your whole payment. That was put forward back in early 2025, but it was withdrawn. As things stand, the figure is 50% for retirement and survivor benefits. For folks on SSI, the rate is merely 10%. I want you holding the accurate number because fear travels quickly and facts get distorted. So what triggers the bulk of these overpayments for retirees? It's a thing known as the earnings test. And this is precisely what snared Robert. If you claim your benefits ahead of your full retirement age and you continue working, there's a cap on how much you're allowed to make. For 2026, if you're below full retirement age for the entire year, that cap is $24,480 per year. That breaks down to roughly $2,040 a month. Exceed that, and Social Security withholds $1 for every $2 you make above the cap. And here is the concealed trap tucked inside the trap. During the very first year you retire mid-year, they're permitted to apply a monthly test instead. That means if you slip even $1 over the monthly cap, you can forfeit your whole benefit for that month. Not trimmed, vanished. Most seniors have never so much as heard of this rule. Now for the encouraging news. The part that might have rescued Robert. You hold rights, and you have 3 official avenues to push back, but every one of them hinges on you moving swiftly within 30 days. Choice 1, the appeal. The form goes by SSA 561, a request for reconsideration. You turn to this when you're convinced you weren't overpaid or the figure is mistaken. And here is the vital protection. If you submit an appeal or a waiver within 30 days, Social Security won't begin taking your money until they reach a decision. That step alone can shield your payment. Choice 2, the waiver. The form is SSA-632-BK, a request for waiver of overpayment recovery. You reach for this when you truly cannot manage to repay it, and the mistake wasn't your doing, or repaying it would plainly be unjust. If they approve it, you may not owe a thing. And if the sum is $1,000 or below and it wasn't your fault, you can frequently request a waiver through a simple phone call. Choice 3, lower the rate. The form is SSA-634, a request for change in overpayment recovery rate. You use this when you admit you owe the money, but surrendering half your payment would create genuine hardship. You can ask them to collect a smaller sum each month, an amount you can realistically manage. You can take care of all of this online, through the mail, by fax, or by setting up an appointment at your nearby office. The phone number is 1-800-7721-213, and please grasp what unfolds if you do nothing. Once that 30-day window closes, the 50% withholding kicks in automatically, and if you're no longer collecting benefits, the law permits them to gather it through other channels, seizing your tax refund, certain state payments, even garnishing wages. This debt does not fade away by itself. In fact, it can even trail your family. Should you pass away before it's repaid, they might pursue repayment from someone collecting benefits on your record, like a surviving spouse. This is grave, but it is handleable, provided you act. So let's keep this straightforward. If that letter ever turns up, here are the 3 steps to take immediately. Step 1, don't disregard it and don't panic pay it. Look at the date on the notice. That date sets your clock running. You have a 30-day window during which you can act before they begin taking your money. Mark it on your calendar today. Step 2, pick your form and submit it within those 30 days. If you believe they're mistaken, file the appeal. Form SSA-561. If you can't afford it and it wasn't your fault, file the waiver. Form SSA-632-BK. 2-BK. If you owe it but can't surrender half your payment, file SSA-634 to lower the rate. When you're unsure, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask them to guide you through it. Step 3. Hold on to records of everything and report changes promptly. Keep copies of every letter, every form, and jot down who you spoke with and when. And moving forward, if your income or your circumstances shift, notify Social Security right away. That single habit, reporting early, is precisely what would have rescued Robert. That's all. Check the date. Submit the proper form on time. Keep your records. 3 steps. That's the line between losing half your payment and safeguarding every dollar you've earned. Now, before you head off, let me leave you with this. These rules shift, the numbers shift, and Social Security isn't going to ring you up to confirm you understand them. That duty rests on you, and on people like me who strive to lay it out in plain English. So here's my request. If this was useful to you, tap subscribe and switch on the bell so you don't overlook the next one. But more importantly, drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever gotten one of these letters? Or do you know somebody who has? Your account might be the very thing that aids another senior watching this at this moment. And if you'd prefer to have it all in writing, I've assembled a free plain language senior benefits protection guide. You'll find it linked safely in the description below. It spells out these forms, these deadlines, and these phone numbers so you can keep them right beside your phone. One final word of caution because I genuinely care about you. Authentic Social Security matters take place at ssa.gov or by phoning them directly. They will never insist on payment through gift cards, by wire transfer, or over a private messaging app. Anybody who reaches out to you that way is a fraudster. Always turn to the official source. Look after yourself. Stay well informed, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Edward, signing off.